Hello, my chicklets. Thank you for stopping by. Today we will be reading Every Little Shell, a story written by myself, artwork done by winstermagic on Wattpad. Information in the description. Thus far, it had been a beautiful day. Patton and Logan had made it to the beach house that they were renting without any issues. The trip there had been fairly free of traffic, and Patton had made a myriad of puns that Logan pretended not to like. But he would smile softly despite his annoyance. Once they made it to the beach house, they unpacked their belongings. That had taken longer than Logan expected, but only because Patton had turned on background music and insisted Logan dance with him. The smile on Patton's face had been completely worth the delay. It also was something Logan had almost expected, which was why he had scheduled their dinner for a little later in the evening. They still had plenty of time to walk the beach to the restaurant, hand in hand, as Patton asked Logan about the tides and the sea and how the ocean was affected by the moon. It was a wonderful conversation, and just being with Patton made Logan so incredibly happy. Over dinner, he leaned over and kissed Patton's cheek, watching his boyfriend go several shades of pink and red as he fought back a happy squeal. "I love you, Lo," Patton said as they began to walk back from the restaurant hand in hand. "I love you too, my shining star." Patton smiled and went running off as he saw something shimmering in the low light of the sunset. "Logan, look! Look at this!" He'd carefully picked up a shell with a beautiful yellow and pink hue to it. Patton handed it off to Logan, and Logan couldn't help but smile again. "Yes, this is a shell of a Talina radiata, a type of mollusk." Patton looked back at him, the sunset framing his happy smile, and Logan felt his heart skip a beat. He really loved this man. As Patton turned away from him and began looking for the next seashell, Logan gently put the shell down, exactly where it had been picked up from. This pattern went on the whole way home. Patton would pick up a shell, hand it back to Logan. Logan would identify it, and then gently put the shell back down on the beach. It was peaceful and perfect, and Logan wanted nothing more than to pull Patton into a kiss. He thought about doing just that as Patton turned around and looked at him with love in his eyes. But something was wrong. The light from Patton's eyes slowly began to fade as he looked over Logan. "Logie, where are the shells?" He had done something wrong. Was he meant to keep those? "I put them back where you got them from." "Oh." His voice was soft and sad. Logan immediately felt the guilt consume him. He hadn't meant to hurt Patton. He didn't realize that he wanted them. Patton was shaking his head no, a sad smile on his face. "We can look for more in the morning. I just wanted to take some home and put them in a jar." Logan didn't understand why, but he did understand that this was important to Patton. "Okay, we can look tomorrow." Patton just turned to walk into the beach house, and Logan followed. He had to figure out how to fix this. Despite how good the day had gone, there was a tension between the two of them that Logan knew was his fault. Patton was trying to be kind and sweet to Logan, but there was still a sadness in his eyes that Logan hated himself for putting there. When the two of them finally crawled into bed, Logan knew exactly what to do. He waited for the soft breathing of his lover to hit his ears, the sound that meant Patton had fallen asleep. Then Logan crawled out of the bed and got dressed again. He was thankful that he always came prepared. Patton had thought it was silly that he had packed a headlamp, but it was about to prove itself useful. Slipping out of the house, Logan made his way back along the beach. He was thankful he had a good memory because he could remember every shell that Patton had given him. Maybe it was simply because of how important Patton was to him, but again, it was useful in this moment. Gathering the shells was a little harder in the dark and would have been nigh impossible without the headlamp. But after a few hours, he was able to gather them all. He wished he had thought about bringing something to put all the shells in. Maybe he should put all of these in a jar and present them to Patton. Would that make him happy? Logan took slow, careful steps back to the beach home, arranging the shells on the table. He could clean them up before breakfast in the morning, but this could be his surprise to Patton in the morning as well. He hoped that it would make up for the miscommunication. Double-checking that he had gotten all of the shells, Logan finally returned to bed. Though he was in bed trying to rest, he knew he wouldn't sleep well. Morning came much too quickly, and he was easily roused when Patton began to shift. His curly-haired partner was rarely easy to wake in the morning, and Logan knew he had to be patient, but it was hard when he was a bit excited and nervous to show off what he had done. When the energy wore off, he knew he would be tired, and though he didn't like to mess with his circadian rhythms, he could most likely convince Patton to cuddle on the couch for a nap. "Hello?" Patton asked quietly. "You're wiggling." Was he? He hadn't realized. "Sorry, Pat. I just have something to show you when you're ready." "What?" His voice was laced with sleep, and Logan smiled at the softness. "Did you not sleep?" "I got a few hours." "You're always telling me the importance of sleep. You don't want to be like the bicycle that couldn't stand." Logan furrowed his brows in confusion. "Too tired." A soft groan left his lips. "If you are awake enough to make puns, you are awake enough to get up." Patton snorted. All right, he said, slowly pushing himself off. He didn't seem as upset about last night, but Logan was still excited to show him. Patton got up, slowly stretching and walking over to Logan, giving him a good morning kiss. "Don't think you are escaping a nap later." Logan just smiled because, of course, Patton would insist on it. He slid his hand into Patton's, pulling him into one more kiss before making his way towards the kitchen table, dragging Patton along. "Logan, what's this?" he asked. "I apologize for not knowing that the shells were important, but I want you to know that you are important to me. So I went and found all of the ones that you had picked out." Patton let go of Logan's hand, looking at all the different shells. "You really..." He touched each shell before looking at Logan. "You really did." "You mean the world to me." Patton shot himself into Logan's arms. "And you call me the sentimental one." He giggled, hugging Logan tight, and he knew it was worth finding every little shell. Again, thank you for listening. This was Every Little Shell, written by myself. Information will be in the description, and please feel free to join us on Discord. Have a great day.